I was really proud of the way we played. That's a really hard team to play against. One day of prep, we knew it was going to be that way. We don't see a lot of full court pressure to that degree, and we haven't practiced against it a ton, but I thought we handled most of it pretty well. Did some things that we really liked. Obviously, Audie was really good and took over the game, and we just, I guess the one huge negative is I hope the officials weren't getting paid by the foul because we just would not stop fouling, and that was a major problem for us. I thought our field goal percentage defense is good, but I've coached a long time, too long, and I've never figured out how to guard the free throw line in all my career. And they go 17 for 25 from the free throw line, and didn't hurt us tonight. But we have to be more disciplined. It's one thing to play really hard, but we've got to play smarter defensively. And if we do that, then I thought we were pretty good. Again, held them to 58. Overall, just again, good to get everyone in the game and see some people contribute in a different way.
What was the impact of those two 3-pointers that Sydney had in the second quarter?
Oh, I think that changed the game immediately. I mean, we had a three, a layup, a three, and it's eight quick points, and again, we were defending well enough where they were going to have trouble scoring, but we were struggling. I thought our shot selection wasn't great early. We had some good looks from the three that we missed. Addie Brown had some looks that normally she'll make, but that's part of it. But yeah, those were huge, and that's her role in this team, is to come off the bench, and we talk about a Curtis Jones effect, all that kind of stuff. But that was a huge part of the game that maybe everyone kind of relaxed a little bit, and now you have a 10, 12-point lead, and now you start building on it. I thought the second quarter we were really good at both ends, and that was the game. And then it was just a matter of making sure you handled yourself in the second half.
In the past, you'd always talked about the idea that you had to get constant scoring from Addie and Audie. Even though Addie contributed a lot of other ways, what's it show that you guys can still win a game as easily as you did when she wasn't shooting as well as maybe you're accustomed to?
No, I think that's the thing that we've talked a lot about with our team. And Jade had 17, but then you have 8, 6, 8. I mean, no one on this team is going to score in the 20s very often except for Audie and Addie. I mean, that's where the ball's going to go. So it's when you get a chance to get 6, 8 points. Kenzie had 8 big ones, and Sid, we've already mentioned that. Reese had a couple, so that just adds up. And the big part is, like you said, when do you make them? When do they? When we really need you to make a shot. So that balance isn't just everyone scoring the same amount. That's not going to happen on this team. Balance is a lot of people scoring in their lane, which could be 4, 6, 8 points, and you start adding 4 or 5 people that are getting 4, 6, 8 points. That adds up, and you score 85, and that's what our team is about. They know that, and that was good to see.
Heard you say a lot that Jada is going to bring an entirely different dynamic to the point guard spot. Is tonight kind of one of those nights of what we can see, and just what does that look like to you in terms of how different it is?
Yeah, it's different, and it's just her athleticism with the ball. The defender. Luckily, I went down and talked to her after the game. She thought she was okay, the young lady that got hurt. But that kid is a good on-ball defender, and she got into Jada from the beginning. That's their style of play, and she handles that stuff really well. I think it kind of ticks her off that they think they can guard her out there. So she likes that challenge. She's good at it. She's very cerebral with the ball. Her decision making is when they ball screen, she knows when to refuse a ball screen. She's really smart. And again, it's about where can we get some offense from her that's not just for her, but how does she create offense? But her athleticism and ball handling ability is elite. And I thought, when you say you're going to have someone in your jersey the entire time you're in the game, that's not something to look forward to. And she handled it. I mean, she has three turnovers, and that's and most of those weren't because of the pressure. Is maybe a bad decision, or she thought she saw something, but she's done a great job so far.
Audie ties or surpasses 1,500 points, passes Stacy Freeze. What can you say about that milestone for her in game 70 of her career?
Yeah, I think probably we're going to be saying a lot of Audie passed this and asked Audie passed that. She was very highly motivated. We talked to her about this was a game where we had a tremendous advantage in the post, and it was like, all right, you need to demand the ball. We didn't throw the ball enough early. I thought we took some shots that weren't terrible, but it's not as good a shot as throwing it to 55. The thing that I thought that, again, made her even more engaged was she defended better tonight than that was probably her best defensive game in a long time. She got 14 rebounds. It was one of those games. And I think for her, she went 33 minutes. And we're trying to build her up into the 28 to 30 range. And I kept asking her, and she's like, I'm good. And you're really good when we're throwing you the ball. And she's making layups. I wouldn't want to come out either. But that was, for me, the highlight, that she played that many minutes and really didn't show the fatigue, because we haven't had the opportunity to play anyone that many minutes. We're trying to ramp it up, and it just happened tonight that Addie and Audie got to 30. That was supposed to be next week, but it happened today.
You kept asking her if she wanted to come out.
Yeah, I just kept saying, you got to be an adult. You got to be mature about it. You can't just stay in. There's a difference between being in the game and playing the game. And that's one of the things that I've talked to her about is, just because you're in there doesn't mean you're being productive. And you could tell she's a little tired. And I said, you got to tell me. And she missed the first free throw in the fourth quarter. And she looked at me and like, I'm ready to come out. So that's a sign of maturity. And most of the time, unless it's a weird situation, when we take her out, she puts herself back in. Like when she feels she's ready, she goes. Like we don't have to. So that part of it was big. And I think, again, overall, it was one of those games that people are getting used to seeing her play.
And you mentioned the second quarter, both ends, 15-0 run, and they had 0 2-point field goals. Can you talk about those two things coming together?
Yeah, I've said this, I think, a number of times. I think my staff, we have the personnel to defend better than maybe we have here in a long, maybe ever. And my staff, Billy, Coach Dyer, have taken over the entirety of the defense, and you can tell. Yeah, we gave up 58 points, but 17 of those were free throws. And 9 of the points are on simple, we came off the shooter in the corner, which is a cardinal rule of defense you don't do. We did it 3 times. They made 9 points. So it's not that you take that away, but from a coaching, you're sitting there, all right, there's 9 and 17 free throws. That's 26 points. So those are things we can clean up a little bit. But I really like our aggressiveness. We have kids that want to guard. Jada, AJ, Kenzie, all of them. EP is all over the place. You never know where she's going to be, but she plays so hard on defense. It just gives us another look. And I've been really pleased. And again, some of it is the competition, but I see it every day against our guys. The guys we play against every day are really good, really good. And so our kids have to guard that every day in practice. So you can see the growth, and that's been fun to watch.
Looks like right at the end of the game, Jada kind of hopped off into the back. She was kind of laughing. Was it just cramps, or she tweaked something?
I think Jada's always got something going on with her, but she does have a foot thing that that she came to us with. So it's a sprain. They're trying to manage it, and I think a lot of it is, she's trying to figure out which pair of her 2,000 shoes she wants to wear to the game or something. But she does have something, and we're trying. And because she's new to us, some of it is the trainers are figuring out, okay, what is it? What's your pain threshold? Where are you comfortable? And I think the worst thing today is she's got a cold, and she really had a hard time breathing. And I started to put her back in, and she kind of looked at me like, can I get another minute? Because Reese committed her 4th foul. So I was going to throw her back in, and she gave me that look like, please, not yet. So she's got a few things going on, but she's a tough-minded kid. And, she's at 24 minutes. Same thing. We're trying to ramp her up to get her to 30. And this is a long-term thing. It's not going to happen overnight, but obviously a good game for her. Go ahead. Yeah. Don't be shy.
Just like you mentioned, the foul problems, just what led to that and just how are you guys going to address that?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between being aggressive and being overzealous. Like when you get beat, we always talk about making someone hit a tough 2, and sometimes it was like we thought we would like try and block a shot or run into them, or we're late rotating a couple times. And the other thing is I think I can say this, you have to adjust to the officiating. I mean, there's games that some of those weren't going to be fouls, and they were tonight. I'm not saying they were right or wrong, but they're calling it, so you adjust. And we didn't adjust quickly enough, and we were just, I would say half of them we were late, and half of them just not making great fundamental discipline. Everyone talks about discipline on offense. I think our team needs to be more disciplined on defense and make them hit it. I mean, a contested running 2-point shot isn't easy in the women's game. There's no dunking. They got to make it, instead of just mugging them and let them walk to the free throw line and make free throws. So that will be on the video Friday, yes. Probably on a loop, probably. Thank you all. Appreciate it. I know it was maybe the longest game in collegiate history.